98. Unless you live under a rock, you've heard plenty from the Taliban and Sharia law and ISIS that totally savage all women's rights. I have amazing news for you and all Muslims too, who are tempted to believe and support leaders who lie that straight from Allah and the Quran are instructions to fight holy wars inside and outside every nation, to forcibly convert every infidel to Islam, deny women education, and require them to hide in shame their faces and shapes from the public, and be stripped of all their rights to property, work, and every other independent freedom and equality, robbed by their male masters and superiors. All this sexist government theocracy dictating religious war aggression is flogged by ISIS and many other terror bosses, the Taliban and Saudi and Iranian patriarchs of oppression. Syria's new revolutionary leaders expanded from partial nation iron-fisted dictatorship, equally claimed straight from Allah and Islam. Suddenly today, I began to suspect that 100% of said vicious, bigoted, so-called Islamic law was really invented by bad men, not a good God, to use, control, and hurt people with. So I asked my smartphone to tell me what Islam's Quran actually ruled on all of these destroy human rights questions. Knowing that the Christian Bible makes women subservient and gays evil and illegal, I was prepared for more holy book persecution. Instead, the human justice and beauty I found in the Muslim holy book, utterly spit on by a world of religion pretending tyrants, took my breath away, leaving a gigantic laugh and smile. All over the internet is what the Quran really says. Holy war may only be declared by a Muslim head of state, and only in defense against foreign invasion destroying Muslims' rights to peaceably practice their religion and promote it to others. No subnational leader either may ever harm anyone anywhere for a religion-enforcing agenda. Allah decrees against all rights-crushing tyrannical governments and dictates that no race, belief, or gender is deserving of oppression and attack. The Quran also says that women must be guaranteed full rights to property, work, and education. Instead, for all of our lives was hammered into our failing brains the polar, evil opposite of Allah's actual equality, peace, and freedom love for all. From a world of patriarch liars claiming to gift us, to lead us with their shouted 100% fake, non-existent Islamic law. Why? Because these bullies, con men, crooks, and killers made up this crap just to seize brainwashing propaganda power to perpetrate armed robbery and savagery. As I said, the Christian Bible can't touch the Quran for human rights beauty. Although the CIA has etched on the front wall of its headquarters a verse from John 8:32, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Well, until you do, and it does, all those unholy war and penis powermeisters hammer their verse. "And ye shall know our lies only, that we may abuse, enslave, and kill you bitches." So what must we say and do? Learn, resist, until we lovers conquer the haters with God's and our just laws for all. I reported to you 2024's American 16% increase in the homeless to 850,000. The presidential candidate promising federal support of 3 million new homes to ease our shortage's price explosion lost the election. A homeless woman in the world's richest nation's capital was interviewed. After I'm lucky enough to find a shelter bed for the night, they kick us out at 6 a.m. I crawl under my pile of blankets, but it's January, below freezing, and I stay chilled to the bone. I see packs of homeless now threatened by many cities' looming outdoor camping bans that the power party wants to make nationwide. For weeks, I have not seen a single caseworker out trying to find anyone help, treatment, jobs, or housing. In my city and hundreds of others, camping bans with connected law to get their also street evicted the help they need are casually, totally broken. Bulldoze them, trash their messy stuff, including smelly blankets, jail them, then release them to scratch up new outdoor fixins, then bust them again. The unintercepted, untreated drug scourge, removal of mental health care and shelter for the 200,000 severely mentally ill homeless, and $7.50 federal minimum wage, and chronic house and apartment shortage and cost skyrockets are all rotten government's abdication and failure, not the faults of all those weak, immoral dropouts from fine, superior society. Yeah, right. Cry me a river, says everybody in Fat City. We suppose you expect our cash-strapped government and we taxpayers to cough up $80,000 a year for each of the worthless rebels' food and rent? Damn right I do, with enough left over for every social and medical intervention we owe our ailing brothers and sisters. Correction, no, I don't expect any government or private to public citizen humanity until a billion learn that governments are corporation bribed to hand over our trillions to the World War business. So now we're 90 seconds from midnight on the Union of Concerned Scientists' doomsday clock. I did the math. Your $80,000 a year rescue of every homeless person in America would cost the thieving killers a full 5% out of their $800 billion yearly murder haul. Another 10% would buy the fast, huge beginning of CO2 air scrubbing and new water source forest, farm, and community rescue in America, while we pressed 194 other nations to help both. Measure any society's worth by how they treat their least fortunate. In fact, in life expectancy, including all 8 billion doomed people. But can we agree on one thing about America's treatment of our homeless? We suck. For days, exploding ever bigger stretches of greater Los Angeles have been on fire, blown in by cold mountain, hot ocean, global warming's giant differential. 100 miles per hour Santa Ana winds, torching 18,000 buildings, mostly folks' homes and life possessions, over 40 square miles. Near every house was massive brush, mostly stone dead, after 8 months without one raindrop. From ever-shrinking lakes, water to firefight kept running out. A few helicopters got busy dropping flame retardant, minus the 100,000 whirlybirds reserved for humanity's real priority. Bombing and machine gunning all those evil, deadly enemy civilians. I pray that our emergency projects for more water and less CO2 are not delayed by years of buildup or long-await legal decommission first of World Murder Incorporated, because L.A. and 100 other desertifying cities are due soon to be finished off by 12-month firestorm seasons just ahead, minus brief relief from occasional Sky River coastal floods. All you bank and life-rupted will have to move inland to far less forested areas, also losing rain, rivers, and lakes. Yes, it's gonna be one of history's toughest decades while we gear up our legal and industrial conversion from world corrupt war to environment rescue. Unless you abscond from your duty to save us all, instead effectively, if not deliberately, murdering your kids and everybody else's. Trim my 40 hours to 4 words. Get cracking yesterday, lovers. Most Americans tuned into the LA Inferno can't take our eyes off of the train wreck. Hundreds of roads, many single canyon escape routes, due in minutes or seconds to be firestormed, clogged up with people. Emergency evacuation notices were 50 times slower than the 100 miles per hour Category 2 hurricane fire winds. As sky-high infernos roared down all canyon sides or torched every urban roadside, panicked, blocked people abandoned their cars and ran for it, ending all motorized escape. Folks dove into all shrinking remaining rivers and swam for their lives. L.A. fires roar to the Pacific Ocean. Just like Hawaii's recent hurricane firestorm, jump into the ocean or roast alive. Just understand that the thousands of ever worse fires coming altogether will not kill 1/1,000,000th as many as vanishing rain's near total removal of humanity's water and food. Do you have another 10 years to stroke your chin while wondering, should I or shouldn't I hammer public God's updated command? Pound thy bombs into more water and less CO2 plowshares. Act now, brown cow.